Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. Hello, it's the Daily Dish time, and today is Thursday, Thirsty Thursday. Are you thirsty? Well, hello, Corliss. Good to see you. Alice, I'm glad to have you aboard also. And you know, Amber and Jenny and Lindsay are all on board as well. Say hello to the dream team while you're at it. Hello, everybody. So we are so glad that you're here. Hey, Deborah, glad you're here also. We are ready to jump and really wind up this whole week. Sarah Preston, hello. It's so good to see you. She's living her life in full bloom. Look at those flowers. Good heavens. And there's our girl Martha as well. My goodness, it's good to have you here. Y'all, I have today's show is gonna hit you right here, right where you live. I'm telling you, you will find out all about it. I'm so glad to see you all. And Linda, hello. I'm glad you are here as well. We've got several things coming up. First of all, I just want you to all be on board for the Hot Melt 30. It's coming up. That means that in November, we're going to Hot Melt 30 our way through it to keep on the rails. You know, the typical thing is falling apart, eating leftover Halloween candy, or worse, buying it on sale. That was me, sugar addict here. And then, you know, it just all of a sudden it's January 1st and you can't do the zipper up on your dress. Right? December 31st. That was me. This is my true story. Going through the motions here. What are you going to do? You know, what are you going to do? There's nothing you can do. 10 pounds is a dress size, y'all. So you got to watch it. And that's what typically happens, 10 to 15 pounds over the holidays if you just go completely bananas. Anyway, Hot Melt 30 is back. You can get your seat. It's going to be Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Go get your seat. savingdinner.com/30. Now, I've had a few people ask me, hey, I've already done the Hot Melt 30. Does that mean I'm automatically in? You're in if you want to be in, but I'd still suggest that you would join us for the Hot Melt 30 webinar on Monday. Get yourself renewed, get your mind renewed, get your action in place. You know, I will tell you something. If we all took the time to get our mindset straight the way that we do our refrigerators when we're deciding on doing a new plan or whatever it is, then everything would fall into place beautifully. If we all blocked our time, if we all got really conscious of what it is that we wanted to do. Because I will tell you, it's super easy to fall apart. Ask me, I've been through sugar addiction twice, so I know, I get it. Hot Melt 30, though, is going to keep you on point on the path. And even we'll get through Thanksgiving without any deprivation. So check it out, savingdinner.com/30. Spell it out, THIRTY. That is how you're going to get your seat. Deal? I hope so. Secondarily, what else do we have here? Okay, I'm going to put that over there. Secondarily, Croctober surprise is all happening right now. I feel like we're giving stuff away. Well, we are. We're giving a whole bunch of stuff, like $300 worth of fabulousness, $300 worth of fabulous giveaways when you buy a subscription to our menu. I was going to call it menu mailer. Oh my gosh, I'm having a flashback. You know what it is. It's our dinner answers. It's what's for dinner. Here's your menu plan for the week, whatever style, however many people, blah, blah, blah. So go check that out at savingdinner.com/surprise. I'm really in love with this whole thing. I want you to go see it. There's a little video message for you right there as well. savingdinner.com/surprise. You get a car. You get a car. I've always wanted to do that. Hey, Jackie. Okay. And last but not least, my gosh, don't we always have the announcements? Crave Crusher. Crave Crusher, supplement of the week. Buy 3, get 1 free. Y'all, I would not be without this. Just like the I Love to Fix and the SAME, man, I'm just really all about it. I told you about it all this week. Go find out about it. That's at savingdinner.com/show. That is where you get the screaming deals. So check it out. Check it out. All right. You know what that means? Do you know what that means? We're going to talk about something pretty intense today. And by the way, our quote of the week, it's a slow process sometimes, but quitting won't speed it up. Have you noticed that? No, it will not. Quitting never speeds anything up. I'm trying to fix these screens. I've got double screens going here. Oh, man. Oh, you lost my top of my head. There we go. All right. You ready? Chris in the house. Okay. Here comes TikTok. And there's YouTube, Facebook. Hello, everyone. Here we go. We're talking today about asking for help. This is a good one. You know why this is a good one? Let me tell you why. Because we don't do it. We wait oftentimes until it's too late, or we think, oh, well, we should have figured that out. We should have this. It's no big deal. So I believe that asking for help is a fear. I think we have a fear of that. Because when we do so, when we ask for help, what we're doing is we're admitting we're vulnerable. We don't have the answers to everything. And we're opening ourselves up, perhaps a little scorn. No, wouldn't that be terrible? A little ridicule, criticism, even mockery. Mockery for asking a question. It happens. Have you seen that? I've seen it here on TikTok, unfortunately, but I have also seen it. I've seen it on Facebook and YouTube. It's people love to find a vulnerable spot and poke. But it's also very much for most of us, it's a pride thing. And, you know, we grew up maybe in homes that it was just a thing. You never asked for help. For me, it was like, I will never ask for help. That was my whole thing. It was almost a vow that I made that I wouldn't ask for help. Hey, Amber Tracy Lou. But it's also a defense mechanism, y'all, to not ask for help, because honestly, it takes strength and courage. Those two things, it's strength and courage to admit you need help, right? Because at that point, when you admit that you need help, you're admitting that there's some weakness here, there's some fear here, there's something that's a little fuzzy around the edges, right? And it's scary. It takes strength to admit, and it takes courage to dare to say it. But I will tell you, don't you feel so much better when you ask for help? I know that I do. I feel so much better. And I know that this is also the path to vibrancy, because sometimes you need a little help. Sometimes you need somebody else's thoughts on something. Sometimes it's not just what you think it is. Sometimes you need another pair of eyeballs. And when we admit we're not perfect, we need help, well, we are looking and seeking for excellence. We are. And that means that willingness is really wanting that path to vibrancy. Willingness is everything. I have said this continually. Willingness is everything, because it is. Because it is. When we have willingness, then we can have just about anything that we want, because we're opening the door to possibility all around us. And not just 3 doors like in Let's Make a Deal. There's so many doors. There's so many doors that we can look at. Okay, so if you want this and you want willingness and you're going to allow for it, then this is how 7 things that you want to bring into your life, okay? And the first one is the big picture analysis. Let me tell you, this is one of my most favorite things. When we are brave enough to look at the big picture, we stop holding ourselves back in spite of the fear, and we go forward anyway. We do, because we're making a decision to look at everything. We're going to see it all and see what it is that we could do. And our amygdalas, which are usually the fear factory in our brains, take note. And our amygdalas are willing to say, hey, you know what? Maybe she's got a point here. Maybe this is something that I need to think about. So you can get what you can't have, you can get what you don't have when you're willing to look at what you don't want to look at. Does that make sense? In other words, when we're looking at the big picture, we're going to see good, bad, and indifferent. Good, bad, and ugly. We're going to see all kinds of things. And then we're going to determine, I don't want this and I do want that. There's going to be a whole different thing come about. I mean, it is different and it will help a lot. Number 2 is facing it. You don't have to face it if you don't admit to anyone that it's even going on, right? Well, wrong, because this doesn't work. And I will tell you over and over again, we have a hot melt sprint group on Facebook where people get a little vulnerable and they go and they ask for help. They ask for something. And I've seen this. And the way that this all works, understand how there's a process to this. You start immediately, first of all, with a thought. You've got this thought. And then you're thinking, how's this all going to work out? And then you go and you ask the question. You ask a question in the group, maybe, and you ask for their help or their thoughts or their support or their encouragement or whatever it is that you want to ask for. And as you do this, you become a little braver, don't you? Because you've mustered the courage to go ahead and post in the first place. You're smart for doing it, by the way. I give you your kudos. And this is a sign of a growth mindset where you're just not all self-contained and think you can do it. It's a sign of a growth mindset. Again, just opening that tiny little door of possibility. You can do it. Number 3, you know what this also is? This asking for help stuff? It's authentic. It is authentic because you figured out that you've got a weakness or a challenge here or something that you haven't been able to figure out, but somebody else in your life probably can. You don't have to have it necessarily figured out when you know that someone else can help you figure it out. I always have that confidence. If I can't figure something else out, I know that there's somebody, in my stratosphere who does. That's just how things work. And sometimes we collaborate when we face things. And we're authentic like that. We can collaborate with someone and say, hey, this is what it is that I want to do. What do you think? I'll love Vanessa. So I love this. And to me, this gives an opening to solutions, 100%. This is the little hinge, by the way, that opens the big door. Just that little bit of asking for help. Number 4, asking for help is resourceful. All right? Thinking about this. Think about the collective wisdom and ideas that there are in a group of people, a bunch of women that you love and admire and respect, right? When you have that, you think about the friendships that are formed and are forming. You think about the love, the support, the encouragement that you avail yourself to. And you think about the real and genuine, and all of this is unavailable unless you ask. Think about that. You can have pretty much anything you want in this life if you are brave enough to ask. And asking for help is one of the hardest things to do. Maybe you don't have a problem asking your spouse to go kill a spider or something like that, but I'm talking about asking for help where it puts you in a vulnerable state. I think it's important because this is what helps us to grow and become more. Number 5 is asking for help makes you real, just like the Velveteen Rabbit. You remember that? And guess what else it does? It creates admiration from others who weren't brave enough to ask for help for themselves. It's so true. And sometimes, you know what happens? You're asking the question that a lot of people are thinking about asking and never got around to asking. And you're seen as competent because you're doing the work and you're figuring it out. So far from being vulnerable and fearful and scary, what other people are thinking is probably just the opposite of what you think they're thinking about you. Isn't that interesting? And number 6, you know what it proves too? that when you do this, it proves who you are and what you're made of. And I say you have got grit and not quit. You like that cup? I love that cup so much. Having grit and not quit, that's huge, because that means that you are going to figure this sucker out. We all have that opportunity. The problem is that most of us won't do, because we have this notion that everybody's thinking these bad thoughts about us. And you know what? It's just not true. Number 7, asking for help helps others ask for help as well. It's the circle of life. That's what Mufasa said. Do you remember that? He said, we are all connected is one of the things. And we are. And when we recognize and realize this, and that's the thing that we sit with, that's the thing that we move with, then we can put ourselves out there a little bit more. And our very asking is going to help someone else. It is. I promise you, it always does. And asking for support, asking for encouragement, asking for concrete help of any kind is never, ever a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. Don't you ever forget that. Okay? That was a fast and easy one, wasn't it? Thank you so much for joining me today. And this is Thursday. You know what that means? We won't be back until Monday. But when we are, we're going to be full blown. Don't forget what's happening on Monday too is the Hot Melt 30. You've heard of the Hard 75, right? A lot of people have heard of Hard 75. Well, Hard 75 is a program that I don't necessarily recommend when you're telling, everybody to drink a gallon of water a day. That's not cool. We need to drink the appropriate amount of water for the size and age and activity level and everything that we are. And so that's why I developed the Hot Melt 30. And it's our program with the Hot Melt Sprint, which is free. And it's bringing some rules in to make it just a little more strict so that you can be a little stricter with yourself. And I think just before the holidays, that's a great time to do it. We also will have some leeway, of course, during the Thanksgiving weekend. But I'm telling you, the Hot Melt 30, that's going to be something that I think you can take all the way with you. It has a contract, it has all kinds of stuff with, and it's really an exciting program. Come to the webinar. It's free. savingdinner.com/30, THIRTY. That's on this Monday coming up. I hope you'll join me. Meanwhile, I will see you around. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Peace be with you. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.